Hey you guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Trey, and let's talk about Alphacore because I think it's a good time to bring up where the hell issue number 2 at, or volume 2 if you wanna talk. Ripper, Eric, you done made Alphacore part of the Trinity, and it's starting to feel like Wonder Woman. It's starting to feel like Wonder Woman. You know how Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman are the Trinity of the DC universe. Rippaverse decided to make Alphacore, Yaira, and Isom part of the Trinity, even though that's not how a Trinity works. You don't put a team. Trinity means 3. So why would you put a team? You know what I'm saying? As part of your Trinity. But that's neither here nor there. The fact of the matter is there's no Alphacore 2 or 3, and I've been hearing a lot of people talking about, like, so where's Alphacore 2 and 3 at? And they're right. We got Yaira number 1, 2, and 3, Isom 1, 2, and 3. There's no Alphacore, and you're releasing more books on other characters that, once again, I say this with love, but not every character deserves a comic at all. And I feel like you're trying to expand your universe too fast for me. In my personal opinion. Now, are there people who probably like it? Of course, but I'm just saying, as a person who's just looking right now from the from the outside looking in, I think you're going too fast with the introduction of certain characters. Like, okay, you can introduce them, but I don't think they need to be they don't need to have a solo comic book. You get what I'm saying? You got to test these characters. And like I always said, your Ripperzine book can always be a good linchpin on seeing if the character deserves it. You get what I'm saying? And I understand Chuck Nixon is writing a lot of stories for you. The Great War Separation, Zaylin, Horseman, and Alphacore. Okay, great, but Alphacore feels like it's the most lacking. But people actually want to see that team. Especially after especially Yaira number 3. I feel like Alphacore number 2 should have taken place, should have came out before Yaira number 2, honestly. And now that we got Yaira number 3 on the way, we still don't have Alphacore, but, you know, Yaira's descendant is on the Alphacore team. Like, okay, how, you know what I'm saying? Like, why are we not doing a book on Alphacore number 2 where, you know, featuring, you know, the female character? Like, are we gonna is Alphacore number 2 gonna pick up after Yaira number 3? Because after Yaira number 3 is fulfilled, then you need to be doing Alphacore number 2. And then you got Ingrid, and she's going to be in her little solo outing with Saints and Sinners book. So again, where's Alphacore? Because if you're gonna have these two moments, I mean, if you're gonna have Yaira number 3 and you're gonna have Saints and Sinners, Lord have mercy. Then I would feel like Alphacore number 2 and number 3 should be coming soon, because again, like, we're getting all these other characters that are getting solo comic book. And again, like I always said, not every character deserved one, and they proved that with Gooding the Polymath. Gooding the Polymath was a character I was just like, no, absolutely the fuck not. Absolutely the hell not. I brought the book though, and I was just like, I didn't really care for it. I thought it was I thought it was the weakest book out of all of the books out. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a character that you can tell is a side character. And again, like Marvel and DC, not every character deserves a solo book. I mean, they can be in the book if you want them to, and that's fine, that's great. But as far as like, oh yeah, let's make a solo book, no, me no agree at all, because like, what the hell was, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. I'm just kind of like, I don't know. I'm just saying, as a person who's like, who's just like a supporter or whatever, I'm just kind of like wondering, like, you hyped up what? You hyped up the Trinity volume, right? That's supposed to be volume 1. And yet, you know, Alphacore number 2 hasn't came out yet. And don't you think you would have had Alphacore number 2? I mean, we got, you know, Norfolka's, which finally we got, that's coming out, which that's interesting, but it ain't told me nothing, because it felt like I was so busy on trying to focus on what the hell? Get your ass over, dumbass. It felt like y'all was focusing on trying to sell the music more so than the story, because I'm looking at the trailer, I'm like, this is great, but that doesn't tell me much of nothing. And that's the thing. I'm like, okay, this trailer is fine, but it reminds me of like the live action Yaira trailer that looked like the CW, looked like a piece of CW trash. You didn't tell me nothing. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta, if you're gonna do something like this, you need to tell me what is going on. And all I'm seeing is a concert, and that's it. Like, that doesn't make me want to buy the book. It makes me be like, oh, okay, great. You know, you can make an album if you want to, but I need to know, what is this story about? Not me having to go on the website and read it. I thought the trailer was supposed to tell me what's going on, and all the trailer's doing is showing me the music. It is the music not, so is the story not as important than the music? You get what I mean? So I'm just saying, like, let's see. So we know that we're supposed to be getting, what was it? What was that? What was the character? What was that? What was those two characters that we're supposed to be getting? Not Gooding. No, we already got Gooding. We already got Blood Roots. We already know the Blood Roots is coming out. Great War Separation. We already got Zaylin. What was the other one? Other character that's supposed to be coming. Oh, we're supposed to be getting Salvage, P.I. Cerise, right? Cursed, and the Black something club. I think it's the Black Fire Club, I believe is what it's called. And those are two about those two characters. Those two, I don't know if they're psychic. One of them looks psychic. I think they're both psychic or something like that. And I feel like but they showed up in the Blood Roots book, as well as like Horsemen, I believe. So those characters, they're getting 2 spinoffs. They're getting 2 comic books where we're going to follow one of them by themselves, and then we're going to follow the other character by themselves. And I'm just like, okay, but why? You get what I'm saying? And then we're going to get Cerise, and apparently Alphacore number 2 is supposed to be coming soon. And then we're supposed to be getting Delta Base, right? No, yeah. So we're supposed to be getting Delta Base, and then we're supposed to be getting Isom number 4, and then Horseman episode 1. And that's what we're supposed to be getting. But my thing is, Alphacore number 2 should be coming out before... Alphacore number 2 should have came out before Yaira number 3. And before, you get what I'm saying? Like, I'm just kind of like looking at what the upcoming schedule is for like these books or whatever. And you got to do a little bit better with, like, if you're going to have a character, you need to kind of explain it, and give me a little bit more something to grasp on. And it just needs to make a little bit more sense, because, like I said, we're getting too many spin-off characters that are getting books over, like, your main focus. And again, since you made the Trinity, Alphacore, Yaira, and Isom, I expect to see more Alphacore, Isom, and Yaira over anything. But I'm not even seeing Alphacore, because it shouldn't have taken Alphacore that long. You get what I'm saying? And then, we're jumping to conclusions on, because a few people said they like these stories in the Ripazine, therefore we're going to make books out of them. Whoa, time out, flag on the play. Like I said, that Ripazine needs to be like, back in the day where, DC and Marvel had, well, no, not Marvel, because Marvel never really had it. But DC used to have the one comic book that had about 4 to 5 stories, and then sometimes that story will turn into a solo run for a character, mostly with a little small backup of the other story, just to see if people really want to. Because, like with Gooding and Zaylin, I'm like, okay, but so far they're not as interesting as I would like. You know what I'm saying? So what are we doing here? Why are we jumping to conclusions and saying that they deserve a solo run when they really don't? You hear what I'm saying? Because you got to test it. If one of the stories featuring Zaylin, and Zaylin had this big grand moment or whatever, and the fans were talking about it, sure, but I really haven't seen the fans really like talk about, like, oh my god, you get what I'm saying? And like I said, Alphacore feels like it's the Wonder Woman of the Rippaverse, where yes, they're important, but they're not as important as Yaira and Isom, and that would be Batman and Superman at that point. Because again, it really shouldn't take that long for Alphacore compared to Yaira and Isom. Isom and Yaira literally on their 3rd issue. Alphacore haven't even got to the 2nd issue yet. That's a problem to me. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm just overthinking it or whatever, but hey, it is what it is. You guys tell me what you think in the comments below, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace out, everybody.